Winter Growing Secrets Part 2. So in the first part of the this video, I showed you guys how I clean up the greenhouse and set up the greenhouse shelf. Now I'm just covering it with plastic, and the plastic is a 4 millimeter plastic. You can use any plastic, but the goal here is to make sure that we maintain the temperature on these two shelves right here. We're gonna put a heater, this heater right here. We're gonna put this Vevor heater in there. The Vevor heater is the key why we're doing it this early, because it's able to maintain the temperature in that particular section and in the greenhouse. So it comes with a thermostat that you can set a temperature. So we're gonna set a temperature of 60 degrees minimum. Once it goes below 60 degrees, the heater is gonna come on. So we're bringing the heater in. Here is the heater. We're just gonna put it in the shelf. Like I said, I'll put a link to this heater below. It's an awesome heater that's going to be able to, if you have a greenhouse, you have a garage that you want to keep warm, or any space in your house that you want to, at least around your house, that you want to at least maintain a little bit of temperature, you can use the heater to do that. So it's great for greenhouses and garages, but you can use it in other rooms and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it over here, and then we gonna go to the next step, which will be bringing our stuff in. Let me just show you where I have it temporarily. We're gonna adjust it as we bring stuff in and see how it goes, but this is where I have it. It also comes with a this little thermostat right there that tells you the temperature, and it tells you it takes the temperature of the environment, and it tells you, and it also helps to as a function of providing that information to the heater so that it heats it. So these are some of the plants that we're gonna bring into the greenhouse. This is my tropical plants that I have them in my grow tent in the basement. I save them like in the basement over the winter because it's very difficult to get the seeds for this. So the only way for me to continue having this is to bring them inside over the winter, and I've been doing this the past 6 years. Once a couple of years ago, I was able to get some seeds, but these plants it require a long period of time for them to produce seeds, and our growing season here in Zone 6B is not very long, so we're not able to get seeds from what we grow in the summer. So this is the other set of seedlings that we started. I started these in the garage. As you can see, I just use a table and use a plastic to cover it, and I use the Vivo heater to maintain the heat within that enclosed table, and that's why I've been able to start my seeds in the middle of winter. And you can see the seedlings are thriving. I'm going to show you guys later on, but the seedlings are thriving. Everything is doing well. It's time for me to move them to the greenhouse where they'll get natural sunlight and also a little bit more space, because I have two huge shelves they're gonna go into. So now let's start moving it into the greenhouse. So I'm using just wheelbarrow to move the big stuff first, and then we're gonna move the other stuff. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this. If you've seen something like this, or you've done something like this, let me know in the comments below. Would you try a greenhouse inside a greenhouse setup like this? Let me know in the comments below, and save this post so that you have it when you're ready to set yours up. Altogether, I had about 8 grow bags of tropical plants that I brought into the grow tent in the basement. And like I said, they're all doing very well, that we're going to be able to get quite a few seedlings from them by doing cuttings. So stay tuned. I'll show you how I do my cuttings and what I do to get my cuttings going this early in the winter, and or if you're planning to do it early spring, you can also do it early spring. The shelf I'm using right here is an adjustable shelf. I designed and created the shelf myself. They are adjustable shelves. In the spring like this, where I'm starting my seeds, I can have quite a few more rows on it. But later on, once the plants start getting bigger, I can adjust it to fewer shelves on this whole shelf itself. So it's very easily adjustable shelf that you can make yourself. I have a video that shows you how you can do the shelf by yourself, create the shelf by yourself. I have all that information on the video. I'll see if I can put the link to that in the description below, or see if I can put the link below. But right now, I'm just trying to adjust and see what I can put, so that way we have all the large plants from inside on one side, and then we have the seedlings on the other side, or maybe we have the plants on the top. We have seedlings on top, and we have plants on the bottom. So it's just you just have to be moving things around and adjusting things. But what we're gonna do to be able to get a few on this left side is we're gonna have to get some cuttings from these plants before we put them, slide them in there. You can see the trays that we brought in. We brought in most of these seedlings already. So now what we're doing is just using a garden shear. You can use a knife or a garden shear. Make sure it's sterilized, and just cutting some of the plants so that way we can start our cuttings. I usually do my cuttings in sand. Sand is the best medium that I've seen so far that at least germinates, help with the root taking hold much faster and reduce any disease and stuff like that. You can also use rooting hormone to do it. I usually use the rooting hormone to do it. I didn't use it this time, but the rooting hormone only helps it develop roots much faster. So if you have rooting hormone, use them on your cuttings, and it will help at least speed up the rooting process. What I do is I get a container. You can get a bucket or a tray. Put in at least 4 inches or more of sand inside, like I have in the bucket, and then use any tool and just make some holes where you're gonna put your cuttings in there, and also soak the cuttings. When you cut the cuttings like this, put it in water. Let it stand in water for like 30 minutes so that way it absorbs a little bit of water before you put them in the sand. So doing this way is gonna help it absorb some water before you put it in the sand. So I usually soak it for like 30 minutes or an hour after I cut it, and then I put it in the sand. And you can put as many of them as you can, as long as there's sand around it. It's gonna help it with that, with it get to take roots. And then you don't want to put it on a direct sunlight. You want it to get a little bit of sun, but not direct sunlight. And then also want to cover it to provide that greenhouse effect. So like here, I should have on this one, I should have taken out some of the leaves. I was planning to take out some of the leaves, but I did not take out some of the leaves. So I'm just using this cake cover to just provide some humidity, like a greenhouse dome on it. It's going to provide that humidity for it to be able to at least get a high rate of humidity in there and help the cuttings take root much faster with the at least humidity. And then I only water it maybe once every a week. Over here, these are the seedlings that I just brought in from the garage that I showed you guys earlier. They were covered, but these are the seedlings from the garage, and they're all doing really well. This tray right here is an awesome tray. I recommend it. That tray set that is thick green, it has hard plastic, is awesome. If you don't have that, you can also use aluminum tray. Like I said, you can recycle a lot of stuff to start your seeds. So here we have peppers and garden eggs. Okay, that is it for today. Like, comment, save, follow for more videos like this.